one of the largest gathering of diplomats, probably outside Delhi. And excellencies, the ambassadors, the high commissioners, consular generals, and other distinguished dignitaries from across the world. Representatives from Mongolia, Australia, Austria, Bangladesh, Bulgaria, Canada, Egypt, Estonia, Georgia, Indonesia, Japan, and the list goes on. I thank all of you for coming over here, and I welcome you, all of you, as well. More than 30 countries, more than 50 representatives, 16 ambassadors, all of them, I sincerely thank from the deepest of my heart. Today, I think this is one of the one of the unique initiative what is being started over here, and the sincere thanks to central government for actually coming forward to make this a reality. I think all of you here are already aware of the state's background. I would not say that, we are a very developed state, we have everything on a platter. I wouldn't say that. We are a port state, there's no denial of that. We don't have a tier 1 city like Hyderabad or a Bangalore or a Chennai. I wouldn't deny that as well. But we have our inherent strengths. We have 975 kilometers of coastline. We have four ports, 6 airports. To begin with, this is our strength. And above all, adding to our strength, I'd like to speak a few words about the governance. One very important thing what attracts investment is how stable the government is. And I can take pride in telling you that an overwhelming mandate was given to us. We have, out of 175 MLAs, constituencies, we scored 86% of the seats, 151 plus seats. And as far as the parliamentarians are concerned, we are also proud to say that we are the 4th largest party in the country in number of parliament seats. And we are also proud to say that we share a phenomenal good relationships with the central government, and as well as the neighboring Telugu state of Telangana as well. Not to ignore Tamil Nadu, the adjoining state as well, and Karnataka as well. So the ties with the neighboring states are phenomenal. Central government support is there. There's an overwhelming mandate in our favor. This could also add to our strength when we market ourselves to the outside world. And speaking of what we can do to facilitate better trade, I can just speak of one or two very important aspects what would actually be a deal clincher. Today, most of the governments suffer in providing corrupt-free government, in providing transparent policies. This I take pride to say that our government here is committed to providing corrupt-free government, a transparent policy in place, a fair policy, what is very important to attract investment. This is very, very important, and, uh, and I think we will stand as a role model in delivering these commodities. We recently passed an enactment in the assembly, in the just concluded assembly, and this enactment is the first in the country, and I think it will set a new standard for the country as well in bringing about transparency at the highest level in every transaction what takes place in Andhra Pradesh. And I think a few of these 60 days of our governance, once you want to speak about the 60 days of our governance so far, everybody stands here and, all of us stand here and then we say, we've done that, we've done this, we've done phenomenally well and all those things. But I think most of them here also are aware of reading the newspapers, reading in the news, also aware of, few of the revolutionary decisions that we've taken also, what probably are slightly controversial also. I think that also lingers in few of the heads as well. This also, I think I should address these things in order to give you confidence, because otherwise there's no point. Everything what we do should have honesty. Everything what we ought to do should have commitment. I think sincerity and commitment and honesty, these are the things what actually drive anybody to come and have faith in us. If we do not deliver those, then there is no commitment, there is no faith, there is no honesty. Then you will have no takers. Few of the things what actually I'd speak about, what is very important, because you should see the other side of the story as well, because what you read in the newspapers, what you read in the news is one side of the story, and I don't know if it's fully been narrated. The other side of the story also, I think I'll just bring forth on two important aspects. One aspect is we've recently made a decision to renegotiate on the power purchase agreements, especially these high-rate power purchase agreements. It's probably slightly controversial when it comes to speaking of a state to do something like that. But I just like to draw your attention to one simple aspect. What is the point in having a power purchase agreement if the discoms are not in a position to pay your bills? By the time I got into the Chief Minister's post 2 months before, it's only been 2 months since I got into this into this place that I am in. And by the time I had come here and I had taken a review of the discoms, the electricity position there, the discoms position, the officers told me that we had 20,000 crores of arrears. 20,000 crores of pending bills, arrears. The government was not paying bills for the past one year to 1.5 years. Then what is the point in having these PPAs? Will it add any value? Number one, it doesn't add any value. The discoms are already crumbling. So what do? If we are to be sincere about our cause, if we are to do something about it, we need to do something about it, even though they are slightly controversial. So what we did was, we need to give a win-win formula for everybody. We are trying to renegotiate. I do agree that there are international communities there are banks there, and we need to give them confidence as well while we renegotiate. So we're coming out with a win-win formula policy as well, where we're bringing them to reality, saying that discoms do not work like that, cannot function like this when the revenues are lower and cost of procurement is far higher. Then no discom can ever function. And the only way we can do this is to bring a sustainable model where the rates come down, where probably investment could be treated as debt with a soft loan. These kind of innovative policies, if we don't come out with, there'll be nothing left of us to offer anybody anything. And also another important thing is, most of these subsidies, most of the income what comes to us comes from the industrial sector, because these are the people who actually pay up. We have a lot of cross-subsidy, what I think any government probably anywhere in the world would do to the farming community and to the other sectors. So these sectors do not pay much. They just cross-subsidy. The sectors what pay are the industry. And if our cost of procurement is high, then what do? We mark up something on that and then we sell to the industry. And if the industrial tariff is high, then how do we make ourselves competitive? How do we attract investments? So it's got to be a bold decision taken somewhere along the line where honesty is required, commitment is required, and sincerity is required. And that's what we did. This is the other side of our one of the controversial decisions what we took. Then there's another policy also, what might actually raise a few concerns if the full version of the story is not told to. And that is, we recently enacted 75% local reservations. This is also one, it all depends on how you look at it. When we speak of America also today, we have a situation there in America where the governments there also is talking about local jobs. This is the situation what is prevalent all over the world. And today, any industry what comes up anywhere, it adds to pollution, whether it is small quantum or whether the quantum is large. It all depends on the factory that's coming up. But every industry, every factory what comes up adds a little bit to the pollution. And why would anybody give lands to them willingly if they have no hope of getting a job? But this is something what one should actually look at it in a very proactive way, that this is pro-industry. We need to give people hope that we welcome industry. Why would anybody welcome industry? When there is hope that you will get a job somewhere in that industry, that factory, that people would actually start welcoming that industry. People would actually want the factories to come, want the industries to come. So this should be treated as a proactive step, wherein we would actually welcome. Then the other issue is, what about the talent? What about the skills? That would probably be one of the questions what anybody would ask. And here we have a clear-cut policy in place. Before the industry is set up, before the groundbreaking ceremony takes place, you give us the list of what is the qualification that you're looking at. And once we have a list of your qualification, we will work with you together in developing that skill. We will make every parliament one particular segment. And in that every parliament, we will adopt one engineering college there, and we will set up an office there, skill development center there, and we will actively participate with you, work with you, to actually develop these skills. We're not asking for funding there because we will support our children there to develop these skills, but we would definitely want you to support on the teaching faculty part of it, so that our people would be trained good enough so that they're acceptable to you at every level. And we've made this local concept because if this is not addressed, then you will have so much of unrest everywhere. What is the point in coming and setting up a factory there if people are not going to support the version? There is so much of unrest actually taking place everywhere. If my state is not an exception, every state in the country is also having this difficulty. So it's very important that these needs are met with. So the other side of a controversial decision would also have to be looked in a very proactive way. So these are the two things what we actually took in these 60 days. While we've taken the third step is to actually call on you today, take the initiative today to explain ourselves that this is the reason that we've done this. And there is sincerity in this, and we require your cooperation and support in every way. This is reality. Yes, what Andhra Pradesh can offer you, well, these are the issues what I think what I'd be just taking a few more minutes to just explain to you. What we can offer you is we have a big coastline, 970 kilometers an odd coastline. We have 4 ports, as I've spoken earlier. We have 13 districts, out of which 6 districts have already have an airport. We're going to enhance these ports. By the end of these 5 years, we will actually be coming up with 4 more ports. So that would make basically 8 ports. As I have said earlier, with these ports, we would add value. What we can offer is what Andhra Pradesh needs, I would say. Aqua products, I think, Harish and I just spoke some time back about the blue economy and what kind of aqua exports we have. What kind of, and he also spoke about the rice bowl for the country being from here. But what we are lagging also, I would just speak about it, where we need your support and where we need your help, is to come up with, build standards for global markets. This is something what we need your help on. We manufacture products, but are they to the global standards? That is something where we need your help. We also want these gaps, good agricultural practices, the global standards. These global standards, both in aqua as well as agriculture sector, we require your help to come forward. We would work together so that our standards improve, so that we are globally competitive as well, so that we help each other in a big way, be it agriculture, be it the marine part of it. Productivity is one other area where we have ample land. But I was just discussing with Harish the other day, and these are the things what needs improvement. For instance, we have coffee, where per acre yield in coffee of ours is 250 kgs. And in Vietnam, I was told, is 7 to 8 tons, 7,000 kgs to 8,000 kgs is what I was told. These kind of innovative practices to improve productivity and yield, this would be something what we would also love to collaborate on. And then we have opportunities exist in seaports, investment could be sought. Airports, investment could be sought. Refineries, investments could be sought. Steel projects, investment could be sought. And water management investment could be sought. Mobilization of financial resources for the state would be one important area where we could come along in a very big way. Projects such as interlinking of rivers. We have a situation where we are the fag end state, we are the tail end state. So we have a situation where interlinking of rivers is a very essential part to stabilize this agrarian economy. We have a situation where we need your help there to interlink Godavari to Krishna, where to stabilize the water needs there, where both of us can come together in a very big way. We need clean drinking water, where both of us can come together in a very big way. We're also wanting to bring about green revolution, where we want to actually scrap the diesel buses, the public transport system of diesel, and get into electrical buses in a very big way. So this could also be an opportunity where both of us, all of us could come together in a very big way. Food processing, research universities, Airports and seaports, I've just mentioned earlier. Metro rail also in Visakhapatnam is something what is being seriously contemplated. That could also be an area where we could where we could work together in a very big way. Of course, Vijayawada and Guntur also, metro rail also, is a proposal that we have in mind. And also support for our innovative welfare schemes. You know, what we are contemplating, you know, people of the state have given this kind of mandate, what was never experienced in our state. And to be very sincere, this kind of mandate has come because people's expectations are so high. And we have a situation where we need a lot of welfare schemes to also go by. Because, you know, our illiteracy rate, if you were to speak about, if country's illiteracy rate is 26%, our illiteracy rate is 33%. If gross enrollment ratio is to be spoken about, gross enrollment ratio is 18 years to 23 years, children who are being enrolled into the colleges, enrolled into the universities, into the colleges. If those rates were to be spoken about, and we usually compare our economy with BRICS, if that were to be compared, Russia would speak about an gross enrollment ratio of 81%, China would speak about 48%, Brazil would speak about 50%, whereas our enrollment ratio is only 25%. So these are the areas where, you know, we could actually work together in a very big way in improving our society, in bringing into focus, as I've recently spoken about, agrarian situation. We are basically an agrarian community with 62% of our population totally dependent only on agriculture, where there are a lot of good schemes that the state government has thought about to improve the life situation of the farmers, of the ryots, where help would be solicited. A modernization of schools, modernization of hospitals, to everything else, where countries who could play a big role in coming together to help us in a very big way. So all these opportunities, all these things what I think I've spoken in depth. All what I'd like to say is, while I just spoke about the narratives, what my state could offer and what my state is all about, all what I can say now is, I thank you all for coming over here, and with sincerity at utmost level, I say that we are committed to working with you with all sincerity, and you have an honest government, and you have a very proactive team, and we would definitely mark on transparency and corruption-free government at highest level to give you some confidence to that extent. And I think once after me, I think you'd have presentations from 6 presentations would come through. Our Chief Secretary would present on the development agenda, and the other principal secretaries would speak about industry and investment, social welfare programs, Navaratnanu that we boast about, health, tourism, Buddhist, and animal husbandry and fisheries. All these things the principal secretaries would follow up after my speech here. And we have 30 secretaries sitting down here, readily available for any of you having any kind of doubt. All the 30, we have 30 secretaries stationed here, and they will be very glad. We would be very glad to assist you, to help you in any of the doubts what you have, to clear those doubts and, so that we could come together in a big way. And I thank you all once again for coming over here with all sincerity. Thank you.
చూసారు కదండి, మా వీడియోస్ మీకు నచ్చినట్లయితే లైక్, కుదిరితే కమెంట్. ఇలాంటి బిగ్ బ్రేకింగ్ న్యూస్, ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ న్యూస్, ఏ న్యూస్ అయినా సరే మాకు తెలిసిన వెంటనే మీకు తెలియజేస్తాం. అయితే మీరు చేయవలసింది ఇక్కడ కనిపిస్తున్న సబ్స్క్రైబ్ బటన్ నొక్కి సబ్స్క్రైబ్ అవ్వండి. ఇంకో విషయం అండోయ్, పక్కనే ఉన్న గంట సింబల్ ని నొక్కండి, మర్చిపోకండోయ్.